If you've hit 50 and your knees crack louder than your exhaust, it might be time to look for a bike that doesn't feel like a medieval torture device. The good news? There are motorcycles out there so comfy, you'll swear you're riding your favorite recliner. We're talking comfortable seats, easy controls, and smooth power delivery. These are great bikes that understand your back pain and treat it with care. Whether you want to cruise, tour, or just ride without feeling like a folded lawn chair, these bikes have your back, literally. Number 12, Honda Gold Wing. Let's start with one of the most classic bikes out there. If comfort had a king, its name would be Honda Gold Wing. This isn't just a motorcycle, it's a luxury suite on two wheels. For riders over 50 who want to go the distance without feeling like they just got off a bull ride, this is the gold standard. But the comfort comes with a price. The latest Gold Wing models start around $24,000, but used models from just a few years back can be bought for close to $10,000 to $15,000. And they still offer a riding experience that puts most modern bikes to shame. But what makes this bike so special? Well, first of all, the seat is a masterpiece. Wide, deep, plush, heated, supportive. It just feels like you're sitting in your favorite recliner. And don't get me started about the passenger seat, because this is even more luxurious. Add an intercom, armrests, and backrest, and you'll forget you're even on a bike. The engine is a 6-cylinder, 1800cc flat 6 that hums like a sleeping cat. The power delivery is smooth, the throttle is responsive, and there's zero buzziness to fatigue your hands. It also features a 7-speed DCT, dual-clutch transmission option that means no shifting, just twist and go. That's a game changer for older riders who want ease without giving up performance. Wind protection, full fairings, an electronic windshield, and enough aerodynamic engineering to block a tornado. You get all-day comfort whether it's blazing hot, chilly, or pouring rain. Going on a road trip and need some decent storage? This legendary bike comes with 2 hard saddlebags and a giant top box, enough to fit luggage, groceries, or even a small dog. There's also built-in navigation, Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay, and more features than most sedans. One proud owner in his 60s said, "I did over 500 miles in a day and still wanted to keep riding." We're just getting started, so if you're enjoying the ride, make sure to like the video and hit that subscribe button. Now, if you've got a bit of extra cash lying around and you're after serious comfort, performance, and premium features, the Gold Wing is a must-buy. Do you know which bike can compete with the Gold Wing? Number 11, the BMW R1250 RT. If the Honda Gold Wing is the recliner on wheels, then the BMW R1250 RT is the German leather massage chair with a jet engine strapped to it. This is not just a motorcycle. It's a perfectly engineered balance of sophistication, touring power, and senior-friendly ergonomics that makes you feel like royalty every time you throw a leg over it. A brand new 2024 model starts around $23,000, depending on options. But clean used models from a few years back can be found for $12,000 to $15,000, and they are worth every single penny. What makes the R1250 RT so special for riders over 50? Start with the seat, wide, heated, and plush enough to ride for hours. The passenger seat is elevated, cushioned, and deeply supportive, giving both riders a commanding and comfortable view of the road. Add in heated grips, heated seats, and a height-adjustable electric windshield, and you're basically floating through time. Handling? Like a sport bike in a tuxedo. Thanks to BMW's telelever front suspension and paralever rear, it glides over bumps and remains unbelievably stable, even 2-up and fully loaded. The bike's dynamic ESA, electronic suspension adjustment, automatically adjusts to weight and terrain, giving you comfort whether you're hitting twisties or highways. One owner in his late 50s said, "After 500 miles on my RT, I wasn't just comfortable, I was relaxed. I've ridden Gold Wings, Harleys, everything, but this bike, it's special. And comfort isn't just in the ride. The R1250 RT has storage for days, hard bags, a top case, and pockets that swallow gear with ease. It's the kind of bike you pack once and forget it, because it always has room for more." Number 10, Kawasaki Versus 650 LT. Not every comfortable motorcycle needs to be a high-end luxurious barge with a price tag up to $30,000. Enter the Kawasaki Versus 650 LT, a bike that proves comfort, practicality, and fun do not need to bankrupt your retirement account. If you want something upright, nimble, affordable, and shockingly capable, this is your Goldilocks bike. Let's start with the price. and this is where jaws drop. A brand new 2024 Versus 650 LT costs only around $9,000. But the real deal? Lightly used models from just a few years back hover around $5,000 to $6,000. That is a real bargain. Especially for what you're getting, that is one of the best comfort to cost ratios in the motorcycle world. So why is this bike perfect for the slightly older bikers? The first thing that comes to mind, ergonomics, which is the heart of the Versus. The seating position is upright and relaxed, allowing you to ride for hours without putting pressure on your wrists, knees, or lower back. The seat height is manageable, and the seat itself is wide enough to keep your butt happy all day. There's also ample legroom, and it works beautifully for both tall and short riders. Up next, wind protection? Yes. It has a tool-less adjustable windscreen that blocks wind surprisingly well and adds to the comfort on long rides. Suspension? This is one of the most underrated parts of the Versus. It uses long travel suspension that eats up bumps, and while it's not an off-roader, it soaks up potholes and rough pavement like a champion. Add in adjustable front forks, and you get a plush ride with control when you need it. The LT version includes hard saddlebags, and those aren't cheap plastic bags. They're lockable, color-matched, and can hold a surprising amount of gear. This makes the bike touring-ready right out of the box. One older rider said, "I've ridden across state lines multiple times on my Versus 650. Never got sore, never had a complaint. It's the best bike I've ever owned, dollar for dollar." The Versus is light enough to be unintimidating, fast enough to be fun, and comfortable enough to ride from sunrise to sunset without drama. Think this is the peak of budget comfort? Wait till you meet the stealthy commuter from Honda that hides a secret storage compartment where the gas tank should be. Number 9. Honda NC 750X. Now we're getting into the quiet genius territory. The Honda NC 750X is one of the most overlooked motorcycles in the comfort category, but for riders over 50 who want ridiculously easy riding, ultra-low maintenance, and the comfiest mid-size seat in the business, this bike is like a whisper from the future. Price? Unreal value. A brand new 2024 model sits around $9,000, but most smart riders grab slightly used ones in the $5,000 to $7,000 range, and they usually come with extra goodies like windshields, center stands, and luggage. Let's start with what makes the NC 750X different. First, the engine is not where you expect. The gas tank is under the seat, which means up top, where the tank would normally be, you get a built-in storage compartment. And not just any pocket, this thing fits a full-face helmet. That's right, you pop it open like a car trunk and shove in your helmet, gloves, lunch, whatever. That's a life changer for riders who don't want to carry gear everywhere. Now let's talk about comfort. The seat is low, easy to swing a leg over, and plush enough for full-day rides. The upright posture keeps pressure off your wrists and back, and the overall balance of the bike is so good that you'll think it weighs 20 pounds less than it actually does. Handling is predictable, stable, comfort-focused. The suspension is soft enough for daily commuting, forgiving enough for long rides, and the whole package is built to make you feel relaxed. One 61-year-old rider said, "I've ridden bikes all my life. This is the first one that makes me feel like the bike is working for me, not the other way around." As you've noticed, we're counting down to the most comfortable ride on two wheels. And trust us, you'll want to see which bike truly triumphs. But first, let's get on with number 8, Honda Rebel 500. If you've ever swung a leg over a tall ADV bike and thought, "Nope, not today," then the Honda Rebel 500 is the bike that whispers, "Come on in, the saddle's fine." For senior riders, especially those on the shorter side or returning to riding after a break, the Rebel feels like home. It's low, balanced, non-intimidating, and comfortable in ways most cruisers only wish they could be. First things first, the price. A brand new 2024 Honda Rebel 500 will set you back around $6,800. That's a steal when you compare it to what you're getting. Quality Honda engineering, ridiculous reliability, and comfort that rivals much more expensive bikes. Used models from just a year or two back are often priced in the $5,000 range. And they tend to be in fantastic shape because Rebel owners love their bikes and ride them smart. Let's talk about that low seat height. At just over 27 inches, this is one of the easiest bikes to flat foot on the market. That means no tiptoe shuffling at stoplights. For older riders who want confidence at stops and a sense of control when maneuvering, this feature alone is a game changer. And it's light, under 450 pounds, with great weight distribution. That means low-speed parking lot maneuvers won't feel like a gym session. Many senior riders say the Rebel gave them their confidence back after years away from bikes. One 64-year-old rider said, "After 20 years off motorcycles, the Rebel was like an old friend. I felt stable, safe, and honestly, I never expected to have this much fun again." And here's the kicker. The Rebel is mod-friendly as hell. You want saddlebags, windshield, backrest, floorboards, all available. Customize it to fit your body and riding style, and it becomes a true comfort machine. You might not expect it here until you ride it. That's exactly why we need to talk about our number 7, Suzuki Bergman 650. Don't roll your eyes, don't scroll past. Think scooters are a joke? Give us a minute. We'll change that, because the Suzuki Bergman 650 is not just a scooter. It is a luxury lounge chair disguised as a two-wheeled magic carpet, and it's been blowing minds and backs for nearly 2 decades. Suzuki stopped making the 650 in some markets recently, but you can still find used models in excellent condition for around $4,000 to $6,000. That's for a fully loaded, full-size touring machine with a windscreen, storage, heated seats, and a ride smoother than your uncle's Cadillac. First off, no shifting, ever. This thing has a CVT, continuously variable transmission, so it's literally twist and go. For riders who struggle with arthritis, knee problems, or are just tired of clutch work, this is an absolute godsend. Second, the seat is massive, cushioned, and comes with a backrest. You sit in the bike, not on it, and your legs stretch out naturally like you're settling in for a long nap. The passenger seat is even better, with grab handles, space to stretch, and a commanding view of the road. Storage? We need to talk. You get under-seat storage big enough for 2 full-face helmets, plus glove compartments, cubbies, and even power outlets for your phone. You could literally commute, tour, or run groceries with this thing and never feel underprepared. One 67-year-old rider said, "I was embarrassed at first, then I took it out for a 100-mile ride. Now I'm a believer. I'll never go back to shifting." If you're willing to look past the badge and focus on comfort, ease, and everyday practicality, the Bergman 650 might just be your smartest move yet. Thought the last one was a curveball? Then you're not ready for what's next? This little machine keeps the surprises coming and proves that real comfort doesn't always come in big packages. Number 6, Royal Enfield Himalayan 450. Now this one's gonna surprise a few people, because when most folks think adventure bike, they picture something tall, top-heavy, and built for young dudes in full Power Ranger gear. But the Royal Enfield Himalayan 450 is not your average ADV monster. It's the anti-intimidation machine, and it just might be the most approachable, comfy bike to ever touch dirt and pavement. Let's start with the price. This brand new 2024 model sits at around $5,999. Yes, you read that right. A fully capable, well-built, long-distance friendly ADV bike for under $6 grand. That is absurdly good value in a world where many competitors ask twice as much for the same thing. The seat height is where the comfort story begins. Unlike most adventure bikes that force you to tiptoe at stoplights, the Himalayan offers a low seat height of just over 31 inches. That means easy mounting, stable parking lot maneuvers, and more confidence on uneven terrain. The seat itself is wide, flat, and deeply padded, with enough surface area to keep pressure off your tailbone and thighs. Riding position? Upright, open, and comfortably neutral. The handlebars come up high and back just enough that your arms rest naturally, with no wrist strain. The pegs are perfectly placed, not too far forward, not tucked under like a sport bike, giving your knees. Let's not forget the built-in racks and luggage options. It's made for real-world touring, whether you're crossing a desert, commuting to work, or heading to the next town over for a burger and a view. Add a tank bag and soft panniers, and the Himalayan becomes a lightweight tourer that'll go just about anywhere. And it's built for simplicity. This means low maintenance, affordable parts, and less time in the garage. For older riders who just want to ride and not wrench, that's a huge win. One rider in his mid-60s put it like this: "I wanted something I could handle on dirt roads, something that didn't intimidate me. The Himalayan's the first bike that made me feel adventurous and relaxed." And don't be fooled by the price. This bike feels like a $1,000 massage chair, but what if you could get speed, comfort, and sport bike handling all in one? The next bike might just be the best sleeper comfort machine of them all. Number 5, Yamaha FZ MT09. If you ever dreamed of having sport bike performance without the sport bike pain, the Yamaha FZ09, also known these days as the MT09, is your unicorn. This bike is fast, fun, flickable, and yet shockingly comfortable for daily riding and weekend escapes. It's like a high-performance athlete who also happens to give amazing foot rubs. Yeah, it's that good. A brand new 2024 model is right around $9,799, which might sound steep until you feel the power, comfort, and tech this bike gives you. But here's the kicker. Used models just a couple years old dip into the $7,000 range, and they are worth every single dollar. This is a triple-cylinder engine, and if you've never ridden a triple before, prepare for magic. It delivers buttery torque down low, thrilling mid-range pull, and a top end that sings, all with a soundtrack that will send shivers through your jacket. It's the perfect engine for riders who don't want to constantly shift or scream the motor just to get moving. But here's where it gets interesting for older riders. The ergonomics are damn near perfect. You sit upright, the bars are wide and easy to reach, and your legs aren't pretzeled up like they are on a traditional sport bike. It's got all the agility of a naked street monster, but your back and wrists won't hate you after 50 miles. The suspension is a big win too. Yamaha finally tuned this bike for real-world roads, not just racetracks. That means it soaks up cracks, dips, and city bumps with surprising grace, especially for a sport-oriented machine. Plus, the new chassis is lighter and stiffer, giving it amazing control without shaking your fillings loose. One 58-year-old rider said, "I sold my heavy cruiser for this. My back's never been better, and I can still outrun my nephew on his sport bike." Win-win. And while it's not built for cross-country touring, with a small windscreen and soft luggage, the FZ09 transforms into a weekend weapon of fun and comfort. But if you're hunting for true affordable comfort with classic style and absurd longevity, then the next pick is the one you've been waiting for. Number 4, 2024, Suzuki SV650. The Suzuki SV650 is not just another budget bike, it's a legend. A machine that has been loved by new riders, veteran riders, and even race teams since the late 90s. Why? Because this thing is stupid fun, reliable as a sunrise, and just comfy enough to make you forget you're riding a sporty twin. A brand new 2024 SV650 runs about $7,199, and that's with ABS. Used ones, you'll find them for $4,000 to $6,000, often in amazing condition, because their owners know they've got a gem and treat it that way. The engine is a 650cc V-twin, and honestly, it might be one of the best engines ever made for real-world riding. It's got a gutsy mid-range, a sweet rumble, and just enough top end to make you feel alive without ripping your arms off. And it's fuel injected, which means smooth starts. Now, the seating position is what puts this bike on our comfort list. It's not a full sport bike crouch, not by a long shot. It's more like a slight forward lean, which gives you a nice aggressive feel without killing your wrists or lower back. Plus, the pegs aren't too high, so your knees won't be crying after 20 minutes. And the seat itself is surprisingly plush. It's not gold-wing territory, but for a sporty naked bike, it's more comfortable than it has any right to be. Many riders even keep it stock, which is saying something. And you can tour with it. People have ridden SVs cross-country with just a tank bag and a tail pack. Jake, a 65-year-old rider from Florida, said, "I added a gel seat, soft luggage, and a throttle lock. Rode from Florida to California and back. Never missed a beat, and I'm not sore. Maintenance is cheap and simple. Parts are everywhere. Oil changes are easy. This bike is the definition of dependable." The SV650 is the workhorse with a wild side, and it'll keep smiling long after flashier bikes have been hauled away in trucks. Now we're down to the top 3. Strap in because you'll need it. And the first of these highly comfortable, totally unmissable legends is a Benelli. Number 3, Benelli Leonino 500. The Benelli Leonino 500 is one of those bikes that slips under the radar. But once you ride it, you start wondering why everyone isn't talking about this thing. It's a blend of Italian style, shockingly good build quality, and comfort that's hard to find in bikes this affordable. First things first, the price. A brand new 2024 Leonino 500 will cost you around $6,499. That's barely above the beginner bike tier. Yet this motorcycle offers a mid-range experience with premium vibes. It's a ton of bike for the money and a real looker too. Now, the Leonino's seat height is just over 30 inches, which makes it super accessible for riders who don't want to swing a leg over a giant adventure machine. The seat itself is wide, flat, and actually comfortable, with soft padding that doesn't leave you numb after an hour. The riding position is straight up cozy. You sit upright with neutral bar placement, your arms relaxed, your legs in a natural position. No yoga poses required here. This bike feels like it was designed for real people who actually ride, not just track day dreamers. One 72-year-old rider put it this way: "It's the first bike in years that made me smile just rolling to the store. Easy to ride, easy to love." Also, this thing can handle long rides. Slap on some soft panniers, add a fly screen, and suddenly you've got a legit little touring machine that happens to look like it came from a magazine spread. Still with us? Good, because this next one offers more than it should for way less than you'd expect. Number 2, CF Moto 450 NK. The motorcycle world is often obsessed with big names and bigger price tags, but every once in a while, a bike comes along that defies all expectations. Here's the CF Moto 450 NK, a motorcycle that looks like a street fighter, rides like a mature middleweight, and costs less than a decent iPhone payment plan. This might just be the strongest budget motorcycle of the decade. Let's start with the number that makes jaws drop: the price. The 2024 CF Moto 450 NK comes in at just $5,699. You are getting a bold, modern, highly capable naked bike for under $6,000. In a market where some basic bikes flirt with $10,000, this machine feels like legal theft. Now, don't assume the low price means low quality. This bike is built with the kind of fit and finish that used to be reserved for Japanese machines, and Moto has been silently proving itself in markets around the world. And here's the wild part: the 450 NK doesn't just look good, it rides fantastic. The riding position is straight up neutral, with slightly raised handlebars, mid-mounted foot pegs, and a seat that won't shred your lower back after 20 minutes. For newer riders and older folks alike, this thing is instantly approachable, with none of the crouch or stiffness of traditional sport bikes. The seat height is a manageable 31.3 inches, making it friendly for shorter riders without feeling cramped for taller ones. And despite its street fighter look, this bike is lightweight, well-balanced, and totally willing to lean into a corner without scaring you to death. One rider, 61 years old ex-Honda guy, said, "I test rode it expecting junk. I rode it home and never looked back. Smooth, cheap, and damn near flawless." So what's the catch? Honestly, not much. It's new, so resale is untested. But if you're buying this to ride, not flip, the 450 NK gives you everything you need and nothing you don't. Plenty of bikes came close, but only one takes the top spot. The champion of comfort riding is up next. Number 1, Triumph Tiger 800 GT, the unstoppable long-distance legend, hiding in plain sight. If you've been waiting for the ultimate comfort, power, reliability trifecta in a motorcycle that can outlast most cars, your wait is over. Because the Triumph Tiger 800 GT is not just a great bike, it's a rider's best friend, mechanic's day off, and a freaking couch with a jet engine. Let's get the money talk out of the way. A lightly used Tiger 800 GT from the last few years can be yours starting from $7,000 to $8,000. And for that, you're getting a machine that feels like $12,000, rides like a dream, and will carry you across countries. Yes, countries, without so much as a cough. So what makes this triple-cylinder beast such a long-haul hero? First, that 800cc triple. It's silky, torquey, and high revving, giving you the low-end push of a twin with the top-end fun of a 4. You can cruise at 80 miles per hour all day without even touching the red line. The engine is smooth as buttered silk and built to go hundreds of thousands of miles with basic maintenance. The seat is a wide, sculpted throne for your rear end, and it's height adjustable too. You can ride all day without feeling like you fell down a flight of stairs. The windscreen is adjustable. The suspension, tuned for road comfort, but tough enough for broken pavement, and it eats potholes like popcorn. This bike is made for real riders who do real miles. Upright bars, neutral peg position, and a view of the road that makes every ride feel like a travel documentary. You've got modern tech without overcomplication. ABS, traction control, riding modes, and cruise control, depending on the model year. Not to mention a TFT display that actually makes sense. And if you're into luggage, the Tiger loves gear. It's made for soft or hard panniers, tank bags, top boxes. Hell, you could strap a refrigerator to the back and it wouldn't flinch. One longtime rider said, "I've owned over 20 motorcycles, but the Tiger 800 GT is the first one that made me forget about the next upgrade. I stopped shopping and just rode." Fuel economy? Around 50 to 55 miles per gallon, with a tank that goes 200 miles easy before you even think about filling up. And this thing loves highway, loves city, loves mountain passes, and somehow manages to stay elegant through it all. But here's what seals its place at number 1, the Triumph Tiger. 800 GT is a bike that grows with you. New riders feel confident on it. Experienced riders find it endlessly capable. Older riders praise its ergonomics. And mechanics? They rarely see it because it doesn't break. If you're looking for a bike that can go 500,000 miles, look good, ride like a dream, and leave you grinning through helmet hair, the Tiger 800 GT is it. This is the one that gets passed down. The one you look back on and say, "Yep, that was my best bike." Which of these motorcycles caught your attention? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to smash that like button if you enjoyed discovering these incredible motorcycles. There's a video coming up on your screen right now. You ready? Click on it and let's go. Subscribe to stay engaged with my channel.